And we are back, and we're going to talk about Money in the Bank.
You're Otis!
Climbing the corporate ladder.
There was not a glass ceiling, ladies. I verified there is not a glass ceiling at WWE headquarters.
So overall, we'll do overall later. Anyway, pre-show match. Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro, Swanton. It was a cookie-cutter match.
Hooray, Matt! Hooray, Matt! Jeff Hardy won. No one cares.
Right. This match was... It felt like they were just kind of on autopilot. I even said cookie-cutter match. It was a cookie-cutter match.
Oh, yeah.
Where these two could pull off a really good match, but they didn't. They were like, oh, we'll just go half-assed, whatever. Anyway, the first match on the official thing, I can't believe I didn't put them in there. The New Day versus the Forgotten Sons versus Miz and Morrison versus the Lucha House Party. Just see that in there. For the
so the Tiger Hay forgot to put Lucha House Party in that match. So
well, in my notes, I only put down New Day, Forgotten Sons, and Miz and Morrison. I thought I did better, but I was also doing it on my phone with a drink, and I was trying to pay attention to the match.
Right.
So this was for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The New Day did retain with a big ending.
Woohoo!
This was an incredible match.
It was a good match. Lucha House Party did a really good.
They carried the match.
They carried the match. They did. As far as the rest of it goes, Miz and Morrison, they weren't involved a ton. Forgotten Sons, I think, were involved a little bit more because they're trying to build the credibility for the Forgotten Sons.
I think they really gelled well with the tag division there. Miz and Morrison really have nothing left to prove at this point. So they were kind of like fodder, which is fine. It's not the biggest of deals. And the New Day obviously retained. I don't know why, but they did.
It doesn't matter to me. I won that match.
Right, you won that match, and that's when I kind of realized that I might lose Goldie.
And that's what happened. But anyways, Lucha House Party did a great job with this match.
Amazing. They have to have singles for those tag belts at that point.
Yeah. They have to be shooing for that because they did a great job with carrying it.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
like 100%. I think they kind of found their stride.
Right.
Where for a while they were fucking up. They looked like they didn't give a shit. But now I feel like Kalisto was a huge portion of their fuck ups.
Right.
And it's like, okay, as soon as Kalisto was no longer there, something about Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik, something else clicked. This was not autopilot. They were out there to show what they can do.
Right.
And I think they really did that. I'm very happy about it.
Absolutely. And the Forgotten Sons, they were fine. They were there.
They looked good.
Yeah.
They looked like a good established tag team.
Right. But they're still trying to build that credibility up without the Usos being there, obviously.
With one of the Usos out for 6 to 9 more months, because, that's exactly what needs to happen right now.
Exactly.
Oh, shoot. We forgot to cover something about news. We'll do that after.
Oh,
this.
You wanted to mention the blah blah blah.
We'll do that after.
No.
No, we got to keep the continuity. So anyway, R-Truth versus MVP. It was supposed to be that, but Bobby Lashley came out.
Bobby Lashley was pissed. He
replaced MVP in the match, and Bobby Lashley beat R-Truth with a spear.
About 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Right. It was a match. Nothing to write home to mom about. R-Truth was hilarious, though.
Oh, yeah. R-Truth was great. I love that part later in the show where he had that picture of the 24/7 champion, and he said he was going to beat Tom Brady.
Yes. He said, okay, so he's like the 24/7, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to
24/7, 360, 48/7, I-95, South. Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492 belt.
How you remembered that vividly really speaks to R-Truth, because you're literally like the person who's on autopilot. So
hey, R-Truth was hilarious with that.
R-Truth is just good at his job. He's so freaking good.
He's such a comedian. It's amazing. Keep him there.
I'm surprised that he doesn't do stand-up comedy. I think he would do a really good job at that. Because he has like this weird, he has this weird honesty with it.
Right.
It's like you can tell he's having fun with it. It's like, I feel like if he did stand-up comedy, he could really do something that could be impactful.
Right.
But anyway, Lashley won, which is good because they're building Lashley, which is really nice.
I'm glad I didn't see it peep from Lana.
Yeah,
Lana
wasn't even out there.
Oh, I know. I didn't see her at all. Great. Lana, stay home. With your husband, Rusev, your real husband, you ass.
Go back to AEW. Go to AEW with him. You'll get treated better anyway.
Right? Seriously, you're not just fucking eye candy. Who are you? Who are you? Melania Trump or something? Like, right? Fuck.
Anyway, that was fine. Bayley versus Tamina for the SmackDown Women's Champion. I liked the match, but
it was a decent match. The ending sucked.
Yes,
but the match was
like
decent.
It was a random crucifix pin where Tamina rolled through,
and it wasn't a very good crucifix pin either.
It wasn't.
No.
But the rest of the match itself, it was a good story all the way around. Obviously, Bayley and Sasha really play off of each other well.
Right.
And Tamina looked like a monster still.
Yes.
And I think they really kept her credibility as this beast intact, even though she did not win the champion. So they're going to continue this rivalry.
Right.
Which I don't mind. But, yeah, Sasha Banks saved Bayley tremendously in this match. And Bayley is still champion.
Yep.
212 days as of today, which I think is, like, insane of how long she kept this belt.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I'm not mad about it.
No,
I was very pleased about this.
Yeah,
match.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman for the WWE Universal Championship.
Wow,
the storytelling in this was incredible.
Wow, it was amazing.
Yes. They had the black mask, or the black sheep mask
where
Braun Strowman debuted. They had them hug and really show this beautiful transition.
Yep.
From that, we saw the puppets to really do those mind games. Bray Wyatt is just amazing about telling the story in the ring, audible or not. And they had, overall, a really good, brawly Haas match.
Right.
It kept my attention. And that's what a championship match should be.
Right, it was good storytelling.
Right.
Which is what you want in any good wrestling match.
And also they teased that this not only will continue, but The Fiend will be the next contender.
Right.
And it's like, yes, there was an evolution, there was a progression.
Right.
And that's something that people really want to see. I'm very happy with it. But yes, Braun Strowman is still Universal Champion.
Yep.
I'm not mad about it.
Nope, not at all.
Anyway, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship.
I like Seth Rollins' entrance.
Yes, he has a new theme song. He's really playing on this. And I thought the match itself, not as good storytelling as the Universal.
No, but it was decent storytelling.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre,
very decent.
Drew McIntyre selling the knee and the arm really well.
Yep.
Rollins really played a great heel. I did not like that the curb stomp was kicked out of, but they're really building McIntyre.
Right, they are. They are really building McIntyre to be legitimate.
And also, one more thing. One Claymore won the match, which is good. It's like, okay, the only other person who could kick out of a Claymore at this point is probably Brock Lesnar.
Right.
And it's like, yes, perfect, because it keeps Brock Lesnar's credibility. It keeps the Claymore's credibility. Right. Awesome. Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins shook hands, which was an interesting little tidbit there.
What will be going on with Drew McIntyre after? Think he'll go after? Think this is a multi-pay-per-view rivalry? Or?
I think so.
Okay.
I think Seth Rollins is going to kind of fight with this Messiah thing because he showed this respect. And it's like, okay, is he really going to do this?
Right.
Or what? I enjoyed the match.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just said it wasn't a bad match just because we were kind of spoiled by the Universal title match.
Yeah, the Universal title match had better storytelling, and I think overall it was a better
like,
match
competitive-wise, the tag team champion match was a little bit better personally.
Right.
But just because the Lucha House Party surprised me.
Right. Well, let's talk about our final whatever it is here.
So basically what this was is that both Money in the Bank ladder matches were competed simultaneously. So we cut between the men's and the women's. They interacted with each other as well.
And it took place at the corporate...
That's Titan Towers.
Yeah.
This was Titan Towers. So there was destruction of the structure itself because obviously they're going to have to do that anyway.
Yep.
They had great cameos from... Brother Love and Paul Heyman and Mr. McMahon, which was really funny. Holy shit, he looks really terrible.
Stephanie McMahon was there. Let's see some highlights. I like the food fight.
The food fight segment was really cool.
Right.
I was very happy with that. I liked the partial interactions. I liked Asuka getting into the elevator and doing her dance, and they had like
they had
a security camera seeing Asuka in the elevator doing her weird dances. I liked the qualification that each floor had to be visited.
Yeah.
So they really dragged it out.
Oh, Doink the Clown made an appearance at the one of those waiting rooms.
One of the floors, and I thought that was cool. The Dana Brooke thing where she grabbed the Money in the Bank, and Stephanie's like, "What the fuck are you doing? This is the Money in the Bank conference room. It's on the top floor."
Right. And it's like, can you clean that mess up? Nia Jax is drooling.
Yeah, Nia Jax was hit with a chair and knocked out, and I thought that was really funny. Shayna Baszler knocked out Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black were murdered.
They were thrown over the side of the structure there, but obviously
by King Corbin.
Right.
The I guess some of the rumors going around is that Rey Mysterio is going to be kind of going out the door, so that was a good write-off for him.
And then they're going to do a repackage with Aleister Black.
They're going to make him more like a Bray Wyatt-esque or a Fiend-esque character,
right?
Instead of just like a regular thing,
right?
So I'm okay with that. I mean, it also made Corbin look like a big chicken shit heel,
which is fine.
Asuka she won the Money in the Bank. Asuka is the women's Money in the Bank contract holder, which I personally wanted Shayna Baszler, but this I was not mad about.
No.
It was a really good thing leading up to it.
Yep.
Everybody looked fun.
Yeah.
It was a really cool match.
It was.
And then so this is hard to explain. So Elias, so basically I'm going to paint you this picture.
Okay.
AJ Styles and King Corbin were on the top of the ladder.
Right.
Grabbing the men's Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
Elias attacks Baron Corbin with a guitar.
Yeah.
Continuing that rivalry. Great, sure, whatever. Fodder. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. AJ Styles unhooks the briefcase,
but then
never had full control. It slips out of his hand like a banana, and Otis catches it with full control, securing him as the men's Money in the Bank briefcase winner.
Okay.
Oh, is there anything in there that I left out, or was that a pretty easy explanation?
That was a pretty easy explanation.
Otis won Money in the Bank without climbing the ladder.
Right.
There was some
because they had a story where Otis was too big or too heavy to climb the ladder.
Right. So they're like, Otis is the most popular guy right now, and this is a great way to do this. Mm-hmm. I am so freaking happy.
Oh, there's one thing that I forgot to mention: the AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan segment in Vince McMahon's office.
Yes. Go ahead. I'll let you do
So
that.
anyways, they were fighting in Vince McMahon's office, and then they just stopped because Vince was staring at them like, "What are you guys doing here?" And they're like, well, it's his fault. They're pointing at each other like little children in like at the principal's office, and then they fix up the chairs around. Vince was sitting at a 4-person table, and so they were just fixing up the chairs, and then they just left.
Yeah, it was really funny. And they're like, "Oh yeah, no, you look totally scared in there. No, you did. No, you did."
And then they started fighting again.
And they started. It was a really good segment. I loved this. I loved it.
Right.
The structure of how they did the match itself, where you had to visit every single floor going up.
I don't think they visited every single floor,
well,
but
it was implied.
They definitely had. They had a lot of different spots. Let's put it that way. It was pretty fun.
You watch a progression going from floor to floor to floor.
Right.
Even if they didn't visit all of them, basically what it was is that you at least
it was a bunch of
touch.
It was a bunch of cinematic scenes put together.
It wasn't like dramatic cinematic. Like there was
right.
It was still live action.
Right. It was partial cinematic.
It was partial cinematic. There was some background music, but it wasn't like overproduced.
It wasn't like you got with some of the
think of Boiler Room Brawl from
right.
back in the 90s. It was kind of like that with music in the background.
Right. Okay.
That's a much better way of doing it. It wasn't fully cinematic, but it was kind of cinematic with some of the spots. Very, very fun.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved this Money in the Bank. Honestly, this is a Money in the Bank to remember.
Yeah.
Which I can't say for all of them.
Right. You can't.
I'm so happy with this. They pulled it off.
Yeah.
And with that, that's the end of the Money in the Bank. Peanut Gallery, what did you think about the event as a whole?
It was only a couple of hours, which I liked.
I loved this event. Not only was it palatable, but every match had a singular purpose.
Right.
I mean, except for like the R-Truth and MVP match, but it was whatever.
Well, they did that for more the comedic thing.
Right, that's fine. Jeff Hardy and Cesaro was a pre-show, so we don't really quite count that, but everything else had a rivalry.
Right. So
they didn't over-egg the pudding.
No.
And I was so happy with it.
Yeah. So star rating and favorite match.
I'm going to give this based out of 5. I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to give the Money in the Bank segment easily the match of the night.
Okay.
That was where I did not touch Twitter whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
I did not look at my phone or play my Nintendo Switch. I watched it from beginning to end.
I'm going to agree with you on both fronts. There are 3 stars, Money in the Bank ladder match. As far as actual matches go, my favorite match within the Performance Center was Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman.
Mine was Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Personally.
Right.
You liked yours because that's when you won the Majestic Champion.
Well, I mean, that's part of it, but the other part of it was I like the story too.
Right, no, the story was good. Anyway, the news coverage I did not get because this happened like probably a couple of hours before the show.
Oh, yes, you're talking about Alberto Del Rio.
Yes, Alberto Del Rio has been arrested in San Antonio, Texas
Woohoo!
for not only sexual assault, but assault with a deadly weapon.
Shocker of the century.
Oh my God, man.
Why do you think wrestling companies don't want to work with him?
I would not touch Alberto Del Rio with a 10-foot pole.
He's a black sheep.
Oh, yeah. He is gone off the deep end.
Oh, yeah.
And, man, Paige really dodged a bullet not marrying this guy. It's like, man, he probably would have killed her.
Yeah.
I'll be totally honest. Like,
right.
Thank God Paige.
Do a snooka.
Wow. Anyway, so yes, it was like literally a couple of hours. I did not put it in the notes. That's why we forgot. But anyway, Money Bank was awesome. I loved it. I was so happy.
All right. So when we come back, we're going to go through Dark Side of the Ring.
Herb Abrams and the what was it? The UWF.
Yeah, cocaine.
Yeah. You're about to listen to the Pro Wrestling Zone podcast, a Majestic production property. One of the quickest rising professional wrestling podcasts on the market today, and the most entertaining podcast in the history of existence. Please note, before diving into the show, that this is for entertainment purposes only, so myself and Peanut Gallery engage in exaggerations, dirty or offensive jokes, and satirical comments. If you are a triggered little snowflake who gets professionally offended, this is not the podcast for you. If you do enjoy our work, we ask that you contribute to our Patreon page at patreon.com/MajesticP. Contributors get access to the Discord, vote on what topic we cover, and enjoy exclusive content such as pay-per-view watch parties. Here's a sample of that from NXT TakeOver Portland. What about the other company that Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly went from?
Oh,
ROH? The one that they were signed exclusively to.
Oh, Ring of Honor?
Oh, no. Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, my God. I felt that in my hand. If this is something you believe you would enjoy, visit our Patreon at patreon.com/MajesticP and become a patron. This ensures that we continue to entertain you for years to come. Without further ado, sit back and enjoy the show.